From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Daniels Roofing, licensed, bonded, insured roofing contractor. 45 years of generational expertise, offering a variety of roofing systems in the North State. Composition shingles, metal, tile, fire-safe wood shingles, and spray foam roofing systems. An energy-saving cool roof, perfect for commercial flat roofs and mobile homes. With other companies, you may get a foreman or a salesman. But with Daniels Roofing, you get Daniel. Call today for your free estimate. Daniels Roofing, 3 generations working hard to protect your home and business.
Well, good morning, everyone. Well, you may have heard all of the tickets are sold out for tonight, Friday, and Saturday. So no more luck on that. So if you are heading out to the Redding Rodeo tonight for family night, well, temperatures a little warmer than they were yesterday. By the time the doors open, the gates open, it's going to be about 84 degrees. Now, the event starts at 7 o'clock, should be about 80 degrees. You'll notice there's going to be some clouds, but I don't anticipate any rainfall, just kind of partly to mostly cloudy skies. And then temperatures after sunset, which is shortly after 8 o'clock, you'll be down to the mid-70s and then low 70s by the time we go into 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock tonight. So should be some good weather once again here for the rodeo. Have a lot of fun if you're heading out there. We do have a gradual warming trend though, and dry, mostly dry for the rest of the week. And we'll talk about that here in a second. Now it is going to be warming up, but not a whole lot. I mean, I think we're going to struggle to get out of the mid 80s for many of us in the valley here over the next few days. Still that gusty north nuisance wind at times here through the rest of the week, this weekend as well. And it looks cooler with mainly mountain showers on Saturday. What? Am I taking out the chance for rain on Saturday for the valley? Stick around. We're going to talk about that here in a second. But let's take a look at Krueger's Quickcast for your Thursday, May 15th. This is just a quick look at the forecast for those of you that are in a hurry and just need to know what to expect here for today. Here's what you got. We're being looking at a few clouds out there and really mainly in the form of high and mid-level clouds. You think of yesterday, we saw those the sun filter through the clouds. I think we're going to see a lot of that again here for today. Here's why. Here it is right here. See that? That's the batch of clouds. Now the thing is, we still have high pressure in place, but that high pressure is fairly weak, so it will allow a lot of these clouds to move in. But it's not going to bring us much in the way of rain, if anything, really. Let's take a look at that on Futurecast here for today. High, mid-level. See how they're thickening up a little bit. We'll see that sun filter through the clouds as we go into midday, and they thicken up even more as we go into the afternoon and evening. So as you can see, there are a few scattered sprinkles and light showers trying to pop up here and there, but nothing significant, nothing to really write home about. And then the clouds will actually start to break apart as we go into late tonight and into tomorrow. Now the winds I was talking about, more of that nuisance wind this morning, a little breezy. I think they'll pick up again here as we go into the afternoon and evening. There you can see 6 o'clock, over 20, 25 miles per hour for the valley. And then for, looks like kind of more of those breezy winds again going into tomorrow morning. So temperatures today, they're warming up a bit. Yeah, despite the added cloud cover, although we may see a little bit more sunshine in some spots here. That'll keep those temperatures probably somewhere in the low to mid 80s. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s for the higher elevations, and we've got upper 50s to around 60 out along the coast here. So here's your 7-day forecast for the valley. There you can see, look at this. I don't have chance for showers. I don't have any raindrops falling from those clouds. So it looks like at this point, we may most likely stay dry in the valley on Saturday. Now for the coast, inland, and for Trinity County. I've got a chance in there for you for the coast, inland, and also Trinity County, but I don't expect it to be a lot. And in fact, I think Trinity County will see a slimmer chance than the coast and inland areas. And then it dries out. We begin to warm up again going through next week. For Siskiyou, Modoc County, the Eastern Mountains. Now we could see some showers, maybe even enough chance for a thunderstorm on Saturday, but I think we're going to reserve those thunderstorms for Modoc County and the Eastern Mountains. And this would include Eastern Shasta, Tehama County as well. So all of the Eastern Mountains and maybe even approaching some of the foothill areas like Paradise, for example. But there you can see we're drying it out completely on Sunday and warming back up as we go through next week. That is a look at Krueger's Quickcast. Now stick around because we're going to talk about that chance for showers on Saturday in a little bit more detail here in a second. But I want to tell you about the free Weather NorCal app. Just go to Weather NorCal in your app store. Search for that. Download the app for free, and it's got everything you need right there on your phone. So once again, you can see the clouds, the batch of clouds that are heading our way. those clouds are going to be moving through, as I mentioned, in the form of some of those high and mid-level clouds. But take a look at this for Saturday. The areas of green is where we have the best chances for thunderstorms. I'm really more leaning toward say Modoc County, Lassen, and Plumas counties, but also into eastern Shasta, Tehama, and even Butte counties, right? But you see how it's just hugging the Redding area. I think they might be overdoing it as far as the overall western extent of this, but something worth watching is still as we go for the next few days. But I want to show you Futurecast, and this will take you through midday on Saturday. So we'll take a look at a few things here. But here you can see today, just some of the high and mid-level clouds that I was talking about here, but really no rain, just a little bit of sprinkle and shower activity trying to develop here for some of the higher elevations, but that's the extent of it. It's not going to be anything to write home about. It clears out late tonight and tomorrow morning. Now there still will be some fog along the coast tomorrow morning, and then you can see the clouds will be on the increase. We'll call it partly cloudy skies, especially for the higher elevations, and there may be a stray shower that could develop, especially in the eastern mountains, but once again, nothing to write home about, nothing to really set stone in the forecast. Then we go into Friday night. All right, see how the clouds thicken up. Here we are Saturday morning. All right, you're seeing the activity popping up already here for Modoc and Lassen counties, but look at elsewhere, right? You're not even seeing any activity for Siskiyou County, a little bit of sprinkle activity trying to develop here for parts of the coast, but look at the valley. You actually have those clear skies to start out the day on Saturday. And then here's midday on Saturday. We're not seeing a lot of activity, are we? There could be a stray shower or a thunderstorm. Now, keep in mind, we've got to go through Saturday afternoon, and there will be some what we call convection, and there may be some thunderstorms popping up. But the main disturbance producing all this is actually off to our north and east. So you can see here, looks pretty good for the valley. So let's take you into the afternoon hours. Here it is. This is our long-range forecast model, so it's not going to be as pinpoint as we have with the one that we just looked at. This gives you a general idea, though. So that's where we're leaving off. Most of the activity, as you saw, is off to the east. Let's take you into about 4 or 5 o'clock through the afternoon. Look where most of it is. Off to the east here, not really making its way into the valley. Now the clouds, we'll probably see some clouds come in, but as it stands right now, it looks pretty good for the Redding Rodeo. Now I do have to say this, and I do have to mention this. Should these thunderstorms develop here pretty close to the valley, like you saw on the Storm Prediction Center, that area of green that we did see, if we see, any thunderstorms developing to the northeast of Redding, there's a chance that even though I don't expect any thunderstorms, that you may see a stray sprinkle or a light shower. But at this point, we're just going to keep it dry here for your Saturday. And then Sunday, maybe a few clouds, but otherwise dry. High pressure, it starts to build in. But look at next week. If you notice, we've got a flat jet stream. I mean, here's a weak disturbance that'll kind of push up to our north, just bringing us some clouds and keeping our temperatures at bay. That's the bottom line. If you notice, we're not seeing any, even a ridge of high pressure like this. We've got these storms that are over the Pacific. And even though they're not really moving over Northern California, they're staying to our north, that's what's going to keep our temperatures at bay. So instead of the mid to upper 90s to even 100 degrees, I think we're mainly going to be in the low 90s through a good portion of next week. And that's just going to keep those temperatures at bay. So yes, it's getting warmer, but at least we're not in the upper 90s. At least we're not in the triple digits, right? Here, those nuisance winds I was talking about, they died down. They pick back up again here later this afternoon. They died down again. And then for even tomorrow morning, a little breezy here for the valley. They died down a little bit here, but pick back up again for Friday afternoon, Friday evening. You can see as we go into Saturday, midday, we're still seeing some gusty winds at times. So it's off and on. It's a nuisance. It's not going to create any major problems. We're not expecting any power outages or downed trees or broken branches. It's just you're walking outside in that breeze, and that's really going to be the extent of it. Now, with that north wind, though, it can create problems, and that can increase the fire danger. See, the yellows here, that's in the moderate range, and that's typically not anything to be terribly concerned about. We're not getting any oranges here, which would put us in that higher category. But what we're seeing here is with those north winds, our humidity is quite low. Now, we've seen it lower than what we're seeing here in the single digits, so at least we're in the teens and 20s. But keep in mind, when you're at 15 to even 20% humidity, that's still pretty low. And we just have to have in the back of our minds that fire safety is something you got to be concerned about, making sure you got the brush cleared out, defensible space, right, the works. I've been talking about the last several weeks. But there you can see that nice drop in the temperatures over the weekend. Most of the showers will be in the mountains on Saturday, and then we see that increase in the temperatures. But remember, I was mentioning mainly in the low 90s. We may see a little spike on Wednesday of next week, but overall, I think we're going to struggle to get out of the low 90s for those daytime highs next week in the valley. Here's a look at the lake levels. They're still looking very healthy. Just that minor drop at Lake Shasta at 95% capacity. Look at that, 98% capacity out at Lake Oroville. We've also seen an increase at 92% capacity for Trinity Lake. So the wave heights should start to drop here, especially later this evening and tonight. But we may see an approach of some higher waves coming in Friday evening into Saturday, and probably another small correct advisory at that point. So you can see here there is a small correct advisory. It's a little hiccup here. Let's see if it'll load up. There we go. Small correct advisory here for today through the afternoon. I'm expecting, though, that by the evening that will be allowed to be lifted, and I don't expect any small correct advisories for your Friday. All right, here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures are going to be the upper 70s, even around 80 degrees out towards Douglas City, 72 degrees for Ruth. Now, I've included a chance for showers on Saturday, but don't count on much. I think most of it will be to your west along the coast, and even that will be fairly light too. Temperatures mid-50s for the coast on Saturday, and then right around 60 for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 73 for a high today in Orleans, 74 in Hoopa, 76 in Willow Creek. I've included that chance for showers on Saturday, but as I mentioned, nothing to be concerned about. Now, as we go into Mount Shasta and Siskiyou County in general, I'd say that, central and eastern Siskiyou County has the best chance for maybe a thunderstorm as we go into Saturday. But to the west of that, maybe just a stray shower, and that's what we've got here for Saturday. And then you can see, of course, warming temperatures going through next week. Now, for Modoc County, you're dry today. Well, maybe this evening and tonight, maybe a passing shower, but overall fairly dry through Friday. There's that chance for thunderstorms on Saturday. Eastern Mountains, looking at temperatures mainly in the, we'll call it around 70s for most of us. You can see 75 degrees for Paradise, a little bit cooler in Viola at about 65. You're dry mainly for today and tomorrow. Again, maybe a passing sprinkle or light shower this afternoon and evening. Better chances for thunderstorms on Saturday. Then on Sunday, we're dry, and then back in the possibly around 80s by near the beginning of next week. There's your Valley neighborhood forecast to the south. Temperatures mainly in the low to maybe some mid-80s for your daytime highs. I don't have any chances for rain in there. I don't have any thunderstorms in the forecast for the Valley, but I do have a nice drop in the temperatures. Almost a 10-degree drop from Friday to Saturday for Chico. Back in the low 80s Sunday, low 90s by Monday, Tuesday of next week. 94. So again, a little bit warmer by the time you get into Wednesday. All right, let's take you up to the north end of the Valley. 84 degrees for Redding, all the way down to Cottonwood, maybe about 85 degrees in Red Bluff, 79 degrees for Lakehead, as well as Whiskeytown, and 84 in Palisadro. There's your 7-day forecast for Redding. I've put the Redding Rodeo icon in there so you can see the days that you might be going, and yeah, a little bit warmer today and tomorrow, but not bad, with temperatures in the mid-80s. It's cooling off quite nicely once the sun sets for the evening event. And then you can see Saturday, I've got the clouds in there, but I don't have the rain in there. So it looks like we're going to be backing off on that chance for showers or even thunderstorms for the last night of the Redding Rodeo. Looks good for now. And then, of course, temperatures in the upper 70s for Sunday, 80s on Monday, low to quite possibly mid-90s by next Tuesday and Wednesday. That's your morning update. I'll be back again at noon. Until then, have a great morning.
Barr & Mudford is a top established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.